Okay, hello and welcome. This is Kathryn Perry, the Big Vision Coach, and you are absolutely in the right place at the right time because this is the Money Mindset Mastery Wealth Circle where we get together every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Central Time so that we can command for each other's greatness and success. So we can just hold that space, and we are using the process of the wonderful one command. And we still have some folks that are signing on right now because we have changed the hours, and I think some people are still catching up. But while we do, guys, you probably haven't had a chance to see this, but Asara just posted this um, in the group, and now it jumped off my phone. I was all excited about reading it. I wrote her a response, and she wrote us a note from Japan. And I wanted to share some of the successes that people are having over there with the One Command. She's been going several years to Japan. She teaches One Command courses and consciousness. She has big groups that get together, and then they put her on a train, and she goes all these different places and do one-on-one sessions. And so when Asara goes, it's a whirlwind of activity there. So here's the note. It says, "Hi, Money Masters. I'm having an incredible time in Japan, full of light, laughter, and love. Each person who attended the Intuition and Psychic Development course last weekend ended up being able to do an intuitive reading, starting from scratch, and deeply opened to the theta state where miracles are found." We teach a method of using the one command to develop your intuition, and we haven't introduced that to you guys yet. So this is something she's been workshopping for a while. Okay. There are great success stories from my students here. One woman published her tarot card reader's book, and it is a bestseller. Another gifted attendee has been offered a radio show, and another opened her astrology reading business to massive success. She showed me the article about her in a big promotional readers magazine. It's also exciting coming from not doing to creating to implementing to experiencing the positive results. I got another tap in another deep dimension of the one command, excuse me, as I called in the master beings, guides, and angels. My dreams have been so active. One showed me the $50 million plan to help communities, and another took me deep into an esoteric training. I certainly go outside the box while in Japan. But I also wanted to share what money has to say. It has such a strong voice, and it wants you to know that it absolutely loves you and wants to be with you and would like you to open your bank account and your wallets and let it jump into your life. Money likes for you to like it and appreciate it. And yes, love money. Yippee. Love and hugs, Asara. So isn't that a great note? And what she's talking about in this conversation with money, and I didn't think about it until right now. Actually, you've had another thing I wanted to talk to you about tonight. But in the original Commanding Wealth course, Asara talks about the mystery school of cash. And when we tune into when we're thinking about a mystery school, you might think of like what they might have had, at the time of the pyramids and the sacred temples. But you could also think of law as a mystery school because it has its own unique language, it has protocols, it has the ritual, there's the special buildings, and there's this way that business is conducted in order to get your needs met. Okay. And that it takes a lot of learning and growth and consistent application to ascend in mastery. Okay. So this is kind of the idea of the mystery school of cash. She got that revelation deep in meditation when she was in before the one command was actually created, but in the early days when she was kind of formulating all of this. And she said there's this consciousness of cash, and it's in the universe, and you can have a relationship with you, and it wants to talk to you. And one of the things that Asara would do in the Commanding Wealth seminars, and I don't know if Sue ever got to see this, but she would actually channel and have let people have these conversations with money. Now, isn't that an interesting idea? And I think it has to do with, why it's so important to know this. It has to do with the fact that relationship is a symbol, money is a symbol for relationships. There's an exchange, there's value given, value received. It's how our needs are getting taken care of. And if you think about it, how many couples, what's the number one fight they have? It's always, money. That's the biggest fight, and how the money's allocated and who's responsible for it and how do we have a conversation about it. And when we were teaching the Commanding Wealth classes, when we would take people through the money exercises, and some of it involved just straight up math, like laying out your bills and how much, how much are your monthly bills and expenses, what are our assets, what money's coming in, and what do we need to command for, and the difference. People started really having big breakthroughs in their marriages and their interpersonal relationships, and they saw how it affected, how the money they made was a lot of times based on their perceived position in the family, right? And even their family relationships. So people started getting a lot of healing during that time around relationships as we talked about money. And we would tease us like, yeah, you think you're here for a money seminar and how do you manifest more money, but this is actually a mastery class and it's about relationship. So we've brought it down to being really that relationship with yourself and how you're showing up in the world and the value that you're giving, and how do we open ourselves up so that we can walk in confidence, knowing that we have value, that what we offer is value, and that we can confidently ask for payment and ask for our needs to be met and ask for equal exchanges and not have to resort to manipulation or trickery or stealing or have to just wait and hope that somebody will look down upon us with favor and give us the business, right? Give us the business, give us the money, give us a grant or whatever. That we are co-creating from this place of value for value. And so that's part of what she's talking about there. I was working with one of my clients, and she said, I just don't understand what's happening. Everything kind of keeps circulating back, and I'm working on this stuff, and I'm not going forward. And I said, yeah, you're taking a lot of action, right? And we can sometimes feel like, yeah, we're taking all this action, we're doing all this stuff, but why isn't anything happening? And then I keep trying, and then this other stuff comes, and I go deal with that, but then I, struggle, and I get back on track to either working in my job or my business, or I'm trying to be a positive person. I'm trying to give up this negative stuff. And I said, well, it comes down to what I've noticed. It always comes down to a decision point. There's this point in the road that we come to. There's this crossroads. And we have to say, am I going to keep going the way that I'm going? And if so, what does that mean? Or am I going to change directions? Now, there's a whole talk I did about our timelines and synchronicity, and I'm going to be going into this a little bit more because it has to do with brain mapping. I'm going to be talking more about this tomorrow, how we have all these actions that we took in the past, and then we project it to the future, and that creates our probable universe, okay? And so the brain is set up for probability. I mean, based on our experiences and our beliefs and the way that we talk to each other, it creates this whole entire wiring system. And how the one command works is that whole wiring system that's running all these programs on how to be, it creates a pause. It creates an open space for a new decision to be made and new information to come in. It derails you off of that old track. The minute that you go up into theta and you make that statement, I don't know how. One, I'm going to actually back it up. The minute you said, hey, I want this, I have I need this, I want to create this. Okay. So once you did that, you've already created a new possibility, but not a probability. Okay. Then when you state the one command and then you move up into theta and you start witnessing it and you're seeing it coming in, then you start changing the probabilities. Okay. So if that makes sense, give me a little thumbs up or say yes, type something in the chat. I'm kind of launched in, guys. I apologize. I've been talking a lot today. I've been on the phone all day. But hello. This is Kathryn, by the way. But so this creates a new possibility for you. And then as we make that statement and then we start taking action, your unconscious mind starts communicating with you in a new way to pay attention to certain things and things that were maybe in your world already that you weren't awakened to or aware of start becoming visible to you. But then you also start taking this kind of bold action because your belief gets supported. Okay. So often, though, coming back to my friend, she wanted to do all this stuff. She wanted to do all these commands. She wanted to do all this process. She wanted to do all this clearing because she really was committed to making a big change. But she knew that there was something holding her up. Okay, and she couldn't quite figure out where. And I gave her the little talk about coming to a decision point. And when you make that decision, then you move forward. And so many times people go, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, and then they kind of get going, but they never really quite lock in, or they fall back, or their family goes crazy. Like my family goes crazy. Like my door just opened. Hello, my darling. I'm at my daughter's house. This is one of the grandkids. But there's something not quite locked in, and I'll explain a little story about that illustrates this in a minute. But I invited her to come to the decision to have new money outcomes, because what was projected in her probable universe was loss. Okay. And what she was fearing was either having to go back to a career that got her sick in the first place, or winding up in a really bad financial thing. And she was trying to outthink and process this deep fear, and we couldn't figure out where it was coming from. It seems like, oh, well, yeah, it seems reasonable that you would be worried about these things if no money's coming in. But I'm going to tell you, once you get a hold of this, what you will actually start being amazed by, you'll go, I know this seems like a dire situation. This is something that I should be really concerned about, but I feel peaceful and I know it's going to be okay. I just can't pull up the energy to worry. And I don't know how many times I said that to Asara. And it's like, I know I should be upset here, but I feel no upset. I feel no concern whatsoever. In fact, I feel like an extra windfall of money's coming in, and boom, money would just show up, or a new contract would come in, or something would happen, usually that same day. So we are trained to, and we're used to being worried. We're used to fretting, right? We're used to saying, oh, we've got to handle it. And then also, if we're going through a bad time, maybe we think we made a mistake and we think we should be humble, right? We ought to show that we're, good people, and please help us because we're still trying to do our best and all that other stuff. But we never quite come to the decision. So I invited her to go through a little visualization where we said, hey, what is this decision? Are you going to become a person, because she wanted to, what she's actually working on is about being a healer and a coach. And I said, you haven't really quite made that decision that that's who you are and that's what your life is going to be. It's something that you want, It's something that you're striving for and you're trying, but you never really came to that clear, hard decision within yourself. So she did it. She made the decision, and I said, you know, what's interesting, because all of a sudden this little image popped up in my mind. And I said, it's interesting. It's almost like I see a troll standing at the crossroads saying, who do you think you are? Why do you think you can walk down this path? And she said, oh yeah, I fear that all the time. I worry about my credentials. I said, yeah, like, you know, your college degrees and your years of experience and all the additional training that you've taken and your own personal success in this area that you want to coach in, that's not enough. She said, well, I don't know. And I said, well, how would it feel if you were being, you know, you live in Europe and so you have the, you know, we go from country to country and you've got your passport, right? And what if they said, well, you're not allowed to go here? Well, she would absolutely say, that's Asara. She'd absolutely say, well, yeah, I have the right to be here. Here's my documentation, right? Oh my gosh, I feel so bad about not talking to her because we were on the call. But anyway, but I said, where is your authority? What is your authority to go down this road? And turned out that was the missing piece. So she hadn't made it the clear decision, even though she's doing all the stuff. And then what was really holding her up was that one little secret belief that she didn't have the authority. When I aligned her back to her heart, and I said, when the troll asked again, show him your heart. And she said, oh my gosh, she immediately got it. She said, he stepped back. He said, pass this way. Let's see here. Let's see who's on the chat. Excuse me. And so that made all the difference in the world. She didn't realize that that was the little thing that's holding you up. When we're doing the one command, you know, this is a big identity shift. You're making that shift, but there's this time that you're initially coming from your want and your need and your hope, and you're going to try a bunch of stuff and you're going to see what might possibly stick. And that's okay. That's part of the learning. And the most important part is that you keep trying, and in all of this trying, there's learning and growth. Okay, and that's why we're doing the circle here. And you're learning to have a new conversation with yourself about money. You're learning to have a new conversation with your family about money. And you're learning to have a new conversation with the world. And now we've opened up this whole other idea that there's this greater intelligence of money itself that wants to be in relationship with you. And I want to invite you tonight to come to a decision about whether or not you want to be in a relationship with money in a new way. So if this is making sense, tap in the chat bar, and I'm going to see if I can get into the chat bar. It says, why don't you loop her in? I don't know if I can loop her in through Skype. I'm going to try here. Let me see if I can. She sent an audio. Let me try to get her onto the group tonight. I'm going to send her a thing through Facebook because she tried to talk to me through there. So guys, hang on just a minute, and let's see if we can jump Asara in tonight. But I've got to pull up the link on my phone, so 1 second. Even though it says at the very top, here's how you get on the call. See, I'm going to copy this text, and I'm going to send her a Facebook message and see if she gets it. 1 second. We've got Kadena, we've got everybody else trying to. I don't know if I know how to loop her in, Sue, from Skype. If there's something you know how to do, hang on. Are you there? Are you there? We're in the circle. Join us.
Probably just best if she can join us through Zoom. That would be great.
Yeah, I'm sending her a Zoom link through there, and I'm going to try to send her a message through Skype. Thank you guys for letting me dink around on my phone in front of you to trying to send a message to Asara, see if we can get her to jump on chats. Let me try and write to Asara and see if there's any way we can get her to join into the call. Okay. Okay, I'm sending it. We're in the circle now. So I'm see if she can join us. Okay. There we go. All right. So fingers crossed, I'll keep an eye out for her. If she joins us, we'll go from there. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and move on. And Asara, if Asara jumps on, we're going to abandon whatever we're doing and we're going to just jump over to Asara. Is that okay? Because this is kind of exciting. This is because she's kind of tuning into us. And I think that's why she's trying to call. Okay. So this new decision to have a new, rich relationship with money. Think about that right now, and I also want to invite you to think about a time in the past that you got paid and when it felt really good getting paid. Okay? So we've got the time in the past. And I tell you, I always love payday. And the thing that pops up for me, it's so funny that Jeannie had a win where it was a college said, come talk to us for 2 hours for $750. And I remember one of the first gigs that popped up for me, I was signed up on a site called gigmasters.com. And I did a lot of little psychic readings, they'd pay me a couple $100 to go work a party and that type of stuff. But one of the first ones that came in was like this thing at some big facility down in Austin, and it was $750, and it was to be there for an hour. So I drove down. I actually saw clients. I hung out and had a beautiful dinner. I went and worked for an hour for $750. So that check, that I can't believe they are paying me this much just to do that, right? I can't believe that I'm getting paid that much. So think of that time, and then you could think of another time. And so I could think about doing a webinar where we took up one of our classes that we might have averaged $4,000, $4,000 or $5,000 a seminar. And we took that class and we turned it into an online class, and that turned into a class that paid us something like $15,000, and it took way less work, right? Like, oh yeah, like, oh my gosh. So can you think of something in the past of a couple of times you got paid and just go into that feeling of, yeah, I got paid. And that feeling of that money, cash money in your hands. We don't actually get to handle that much cash anymore. And the Mystery of School of Cash encourages us to use, the paper representation of money so that we can be more attuned to it. So remember that feeling and the smell of money. Like, yeah, we want to bring up that feeling. So now we want to think about this new decision, like, wow, there's a new probability of money that I can have, a new possibility of money that I want to create in my life by my command. And you think, that's kind of a big leap. I should be able to do it, but it seems really hard. But if you think about it, there was a time when you were a kid that you did all kinds of stuff and you didn't get paid, and you didn't get paid, and it was just like, because you're a kid and you're supposed to do this work, right? So there was a big leap already, like that first paycheck, that first babysitting job, whatever, that first time you got paid. And then there was the time that you got like your full adult money, right? And you really got paid something more, okay, based on your experience. Now we're going to take it to something even bigger. So now you might be able to get an inkling based on the past, right, of what that could look like. But what you don't know and what you can't know is what it is like to live in a state of 100% confidence that when you speak it, it is absolutely guaranteed and assured that your word will be made law and be made into form and manifested, and you will get that which you command. So let's first just align heart to heart. Is that okay? We're just diving right in tonight. So we're just going to align heart to heart. I'm going to invite you to ground your energy. And now fill up the earth. Feel that earth energy starting to come up through your body to support you. And as that earth energy is coming up, we're just going to invite that universal light of source to come down to the top of our head and to connect with us. Now, there is a amount of money that you are commanding for. But first, let's focus on the decision. Okay? Right now, in your heart, I want to invite you to make the decision, yes or no. Do you or do you not want to leave your old path of the old probable ways and to venture forth on this new potential for your wealth mastery? Thank you. Boy, I felt a big release just in that decision. Sometimes that indecision creates so much inner tension, doesn't it? And as you start to move forward, does it feel easy and natural, or is there, like my friend, a little troll or a little block there? And whatever you notice, just let me know. Does it feel open and clear, or is there a troll there or something blocking you? Okay, good. So now we're just going to move forward. Yeah, Jeannie says a little troll. So just notice, what is the little troll demanding from you? And we could think of the troll like being in that old story of the three Billy Goats that wanted to cross the bridge, right? And he says, answer the riddle, you don't have the right to cross the bridge, kind of thing. And it's like, what is the troll demanding before you can pass? Worthiness. Okay. Some blocks in your chest. Isn't that interesting? So right now, if you were worthy, how would you know? And all of us to some degree are always going to question, am I the right one? Am I worthy? Do I deserve this? This comes up every time, and we just know that it's the old mind. So right now, just align to your heart, be present to that feeling of not worthy. And I don't know how I came to know and understand my true worth and the worth of the work that I am bringing to the world. I only know that it is worth the time and the energy now. I am worthy. And this is a worthy journey now, and I am fulfilled. Do you hear how I did that, where we made sure we covered every little bit? And now let that heart light shine of worthiness and show it to the troll. And now you have created a whole new money potential. You've linked it to the past, and now it's projected into the future. But now we have this other road, and we need to collapse it. So just imagine that you could just, with your hands, or however you like to do it, but I like to just kind of like smash and crunch things. But it might help you to just erase that road. I don't know how that old path is dissolved. I only know it is now, and I am fulfilled. Dissolve. Now, notice how we did this, where we're using the one command as we meet every moment, like when we made the decision, when we meet a block, when we get curious. We just allow the command to just kind of keep making the way open. So now, think about the money that you want to create. And we've talked about the mystery school of cash. And now you've set yourself on this new path of being a wealth master by your decision and by your command. So right now, just witness in your mind's eye. If we could picture, visualize, or imagine in a place in consciousness, a mystery school of cash. And there was an open communication between you and this mystery school of cash. And money has already sent a message to the group saying, I want to see you, I want to play with you. And so it's asking if it will. And now send your answer to this building, like message received, yes or no, I want to play with you, or come out and play. I love that idea. Come out and play. Come get in my wallet. Come get in my bank account. Get in my stock portfolio. Come to me in contracts. Come to me through my business. Come to me through surprises. Yeah. Unexpectedly. I love the expectation. All the ways that you want to come to me. And just go ahead, and I just want to invite you to invite the Mystery School of Cash to come teach you, to awaken your money consciousness now. Now you and the Mystery School of Cash, however it's represented, roll your eyes up, go up even higher. Now, whatever it is that you are commanding for, particularly financially, since that's what we're working for, this is kind of where we've been focusing tonight. I've got my number. Do you have yours? We so often focus on all the things we want to go right, but we forget that we're doing all this stuff for money. But maybe money wants to do some stuff for us. Yeah. Ooh. So I don't know how I am co-creating a new cash consciousness with a mystery school of cash. I only know that money and I are making friends right now, and I am fulfilled. Yeah. And I don't know how I consciously create confidence in my ability to create cash by my command. I only know that my word is law now, and I am fulfilled. I don't know how I increase my expectancy that when I speak a command, it is manifested. I only know that as I speak it, it is manifested and created now, and I am fulfilled. And now we're just going to just allow this sense of gratitude and appreciation. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Mystery School of Cash, for your beautiful message. Thank you for the reminder. Thank you, Asara. Thank you, Universe, for this experience. Thank you, thank you, thank you for my command being fulfilled. Thank you for all the miracles and even things happening in the past that transform and change in the past to make a new possibility, a new potential today, a new reality and outcome. Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you. Feel yourself coming back down into your body. And we're going to unwind, unwind, unwind. Whew. And rewind, rewind, rewind. Bring your attention back to your heart. And when you're ready, open your eyes. And I'm going to check in with Jeannie. And then I did not mean to go into that, guys. We just straight up channeled tonight's call. But I'm going to tune into Jeannie. Hey, how are you? Are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes. What happened to the troll?
The troll is gone.
Woohoo!
I passed.
So Asara is sending a message to me. So what happened when your heart light came on?
Before it wasn't bad, but there was just a little, like a tug, like a tightness there.
Uh-huh.
But now it just feels released. I don't really know how to describe it. It just feels at ease.
Good.
Yeah.
So what do you think that worthiness was about?
Oh, I think growing up, and I love my parents. They were good parents, but we all make mistakes. There was always, with my dad especially, there was always, you're only successful if you measure up. And for one thing, women in our family were not valued. We were just, we had the babies, we cooked the meals, we cleaned the house, that type of thing.
Yeah.
And so I think that even though in my mind, I know all that is not right, but there, probably the wounded little girl in me has held on to some of that. And I've worked on it a lot over the last few years, but I knew there was still something lingering there.
Are you the one who always makes sure when there's a class or something, or you go to church or whatever it is, that you're part of the cleanup crew and you pick up all the chairs and you do all this stuff?
No, that I rebelled. I didn't.
I tell you what, it took a long time to say, let me find other ways. I'm always happy to pitch in, but for some reason I became like the default kitchen. And I'm talking about like when we had workshops and stuff, I'm like working away and in the kitchen and go teach a class and go back to the kitchen.
I did do a lot of cooking and things like that. And I used to have a sewing business. So anybody that needed something sewed would come to me. And at church about 12 years ago, we were building a new building. And this guy came to me and said, we want you to make quilts for the new nursery. And I I didn't even think about it. I said no.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, well, don't you think God would want you to? And I said, he hasn't said anything to me.
Okay.
So those things I've learned. But
Like, well,
I think,
usually I get about $100 a quilt or something, right?
yeah, but
Yeah.
I think the money thing has affected me more than that other stuff did.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
actually, it would be someone else perceiving your worthiness rather than you perceiving your own.
Right.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. So, well, good breakthrough. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you.
Guys, we just jumped right on. I didn't get to check in ahead. I did not mean to go into that so much. Like I said, I've been on the phone all day, but I would love to get some feedback or questions. Who has something they would like to just share or talk about? And all you have to do is unmute your phone. Asara just sent, I have an email pop-up said, am I accessible by Skype? I sent her the link to the Zoom room, so fingers crossed. Okay. All right. So, all right. Very cool. Well, I want to show y'all a couple other things that are coming up. Let me get over to the screen share. And I got to find the other room, or the other thing that I'm sharing here. Just a minute. There we go. We have Big Vision events. And on the Saturday, July 13th, I decided that we need to do a one-day virtual boot camp. We used to do these quite a bit where we would actually like go all the way back to explaining the science of the one command, the brain waves. We teach you how to lay out the real 6 steps were actually pieces of paper, but slowing it down and then really how to format that one command correctly. And then just let's see what else. But how to use your dreams and how can we use the different visualizations. But this is where we do that deeper dive. And like I said, it's going to be a virtual Zoom one that is going to be on Saturday the 13th from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Central. And it's only going to be $97. So I'll be sharing this event in the group. I really want to encourage you guys to take this. And I tell you the truth, when I really want to deepen and really work on something, I will lay out the papers. So I think that this would be a really good event. So let me see. Hi, Kendra. There's Asara. Asara said she did that. I want to remind y'all about the group itself. Every Wednesday we do Wednesday Webinette, and I would love to get your feedback on what questions you have or what you'd like to see presented. So that's all I'm going to say on that. But I would love to get some more sharing. Let me see. I wanted to see in because I heard somebody. I hope Asara jumped on. I am so hoping we get to talk to her tonight. I don't know how Asara finds us, but I'll probably Skype her afterwards. Okay, great. Did anybody else have any questions or comments about tonight? Was this helpful? Yeah, we went right into that mystery school of cash and creating a whole new potential. Here, let me look at the chat here. Oh, this is good. Yeah, we don't mess around. I guess y'all just must be graduate level people in consciousness because this group does not mess around at all, do we? We just go for it and we go deep. Asara Lovejoy! Asara Lovejoy is on the call, guys. Asara, can you hear us?
I can. I just, I'm sitting here in the condo in Japan. You can't see out the window. And I got your message to jump on, but I don't have makeup on or anything. I just jumped on.
You're fine. I've got you. Let me see if I can. I've got your voice, but let me see if I can go ahead and try and find you. We have done the. There we go. I'm gonna pin your video, Asara. Just a minute. let me unpin mine. I read your beautiful message to everybody, and we went right on and we did the Mystery School of Cash meditation, where we created this teach. You were channeling, I started channeling. I didn't even get to do a group check-in. So I'm going to send you the recording when we get done.
All right, awesome. It's like there's such a beautiful psychic space in Japan. It's very quiet because people have a real cultural belief in being so polite and so kind that they don't even project out their field of their psychic field. So it's really gentle and loving here, and we're able to do just deep, profound work. And during the weekend workshop, just conversations with Cash and the Mystery School of Cash just kept coming in and just having so much fun and just saying, hey, everybody, we want to be in your life. We want to be in your pockets. We want to be with you. Please let us come in. Let us come in. Enjoy money. Enjoy it. Enjoy getting more money. So anyway, that was just wonderful.
Well, we came to a new decision tonight as a group. We have about, I think, 7 of us tonight, but it was like, hey, that decision to become a wealth master, right? Because we wanted to create that new potential. And then as we moved forward, we met whatever the little troll was that was, going, what gives you the right to come here? But then we continued on to the Mystery School of Cash, and we asked it to come out and play with us and to co-create with us this new money relationship.
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful.
This one's a keeper. We're going to transcribe this one.
Well, sure. I love you all, and I got to go get dressed because I got to leave. But I emailed you, Kathryn, so let me know when you get back to it, and send me a time when we can talk.
Okay, definitely. All right, Asara.
Bye.
We love you. Bye-bye. Thank you for jumping on. All right.
I don't know how to get off.
I'll get you off. Let me see if I can throw you off here just a minute. I'm not used to kicking people out of the room here. I'm going to remove you and see if that does it.
Okay. Oh, there's stop
You
video.
want to remove her? Yeah. There we go. There we go. Oh, what a treat. So we don't get to see her very often. Okay, guys. Well, I'm going to go ahead and so I'm always so appreciative of you. Thank you so much. Oh, this is what I wanted to tell you. In the group, if you have not scheduled yet, I'm doing little 10, 15-minute just check-ins and chats. And so be sure I've got the link, and you'll see it in the page that has the little coffee mug. And it's just a little catch-up thing. So all you got to do is click on this link right here, the Calendly link, and it'll take you to the appointment calendar just so that we can meet personally and just find out what you're up to and how I might be of support to you. And heck, people have been saying, well, Kathryn, how can I be supportive of you? Well, I'm commanding for a new house. I want to live in Wichita Falls near the Grand Girls. So I don't know how I have my new home. I only know I do now, and I am fulfilled. So, but anyway, be sure and check out that if you have not booked your 10-minute call. In the last 2 days, I've done 18 calls. So I'm a little fried, but we can stretch this out. We don't have to do it all in the next couple of days. We have some time to talk. So, all right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and let you go. All right. So thank you so much. I appreciate you. I love you. And I witness your mastery. Next week is the 4th of July week. No circle next week, but we will catch up the following week. Okay. But I'll be on the webinar tomorrow. All righty. Bye-bye. And we will end the meeting.